Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here with the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning outlook updated on Monday, the 30th of September. That's the taste of something chilly as we start October with a northerly air mass that's been drawn down across the British Isles, sub-zero temperatures on the higher mountains in Scotland at least, with some snow and some hail showers in the mix, although don't expect too much from those at this stage. A swap around again though as we head toward the later part of the week, and all eyes are on the current hurricane that's out over the Atlantic in terms of what that does and what that means then for the patterns further ahead. It looks pretty unsettled, it must be said. We'll start with this chart. This is courtesy of the National Hurricane Center over in the States, and it's the forecast track of the center of Hurricane Lorenzo, which has been up to a Category 5 status, according to the reports, in the mid-Atlantic. One or two questions of the absolute peak strength, but I'll leave that for those in the know to delve into. Nevertheless, a very powerful system as it moves its way toward the Azores. Then notice the black background of the H letter over the Azores becomes a white background. The key to that is that it then becomes post-tropical. It may still be effectively still hurricane strength as it moves well to the west of Ireland. The S is then tropical storm strength. That's nothing completely out of the ordinary. We've seen those sorts of things before, but the key thing to that is that it is post-tropical. It's become absorbed into the jet stream. It's then got a frontal system wrapped around it. Still a powerful system, but it's distinctly not a tropical hurricane by then. In many ways, it makes little odds in terms of the strength of the system, but it's just one of those meteorological technicalities that we try and get ironed out. Charts for the next few days then, before we get to the impacts of that storm, the track of which still fairly uncertain, it must be said. Tuesday, low pressure as a broad feature across England and Wales, a wet, murky day for much of Wales and the South Pennines, some heavy bursts of rain across the south of Wales in particular. This whole frontal zone is slow to move through. It will drag its way southwards away from the lakes and the North Pennines, so improving here. A windy day, very gusty easterly winds across the Pennines, could be up to 50 miles per hour or more in a few spots, so very gusty conditions in places to lower slopes west of the Pennines and some higher ridges in the Lake District, becoming very gusty across Wales as well as that low just drags southwards. A different picture across Scotland, largely a dry story. One or two showers, though, coming down from the north of some snow or some hail across the far north and into the Cairngorms, and it'll be a cold day, sub-zero above around 900 to 1,000 metres. Clear skies overnight for many will lead to a widespread frost for Wednesday morning, and a bright day though will be the result of that one. Lots of sunshine around, some broken cloud toward the north of Scotland, producing one or two snow flurries or showers just locally, but many places, to be fair, are in for a dry day with the wind dropping light. Blustery at first, particularly across more eastern mountains, with that wind chill quite significant. Now here comes the area of low pressure, as it will be by then, ex-Hurricane Lorenzo, west of Ireland. Now, uncertainty just how far in this system will have got. This chart shows it as quite an active system just west of Ireland. A few other models don't bring it in quite as close. So this is up for grabs in terms of what the final position and shape of that storm system is. But the likelihood is that that will turn the wind toward the south-southeast and strengthen through the day on Thursday. The risk of becoming widely gale force across many western mountains, and as the fronts start to push in, there's the risk of rain developing across West Wales, across the western side of Scotland, maybe later becoming a bit more extensive. For many hours, likely to be dry with, again, excellent visibility and sunshine, becoming hazy with time. A frost first thing in the morning, but just watch for everything going more or less downhill as you head through Thursday daytime. Uncertainty at this stage, so keep an eye on the forecast detail. And if there's uncertainty at that point, well, there's plenty of uncertainty by the time we get to Friday. The centre of the low is likely to drag its way further eastwards, according to this forecast model, across central parts of Britain. This is very much open to question, so treat this chart and its detail with a pinch of salt. The idea of some rain, quite persistent or heavy in some places, with the wind up to gale force as well, but what the detail is very questionable at this stage. Some places may get away with a reasonable day, others could be a distinctly poor one. Naturally, it won't get any easier in getting absolute detail out of things by the time we get through toward the weekend. A chart like this looks the believable story overall, though. The remnants of fronts from that previous system still kicking around further frontal systems trying to sweep in from the southwest as the wind flow is turning back towards the Atlantic. Some spells of rain and strong winds are going to be in the forecast, I suspect, one way or the other into the weekend and possibly even beyond. With that wind direction, though, much milder compared to what we're seeing just over the next few days. So I'm really not going to try and get too clever once we get to the weekend and beyond. It's not a cop-out, it's just one of those situations where it's almost worth giving it another day or so. Let's just see where this tropical energy gets to in the system and how things unfold. The general trend, though, as we head onwards beyond the weekend, this is the 7-day pressure anomaly for the week of the 7th to the 13th, shows lower than average pressure towards the northwest of the British Isles. Higher pressure is away toward the Azores and Iberia. The trend then is a west or a southwesterly wind, focusing its rain-bearing systems on Scotland, maybe less so by this stage on England and Wales compared to what we've seen in recent times, so maybe something of a lull compared to the very wet weather just recently further south. Wetter conditions probably focusing on the West and Northwest Highlands through that time. And again, likely milder than what we're seeing at the moment too, with that west or southwesterly wind in charge. Plenty to keep an eye on then. We'll update the video for you again on Thursday with the trend for the weekend and beyond, see where we've got to. Keep up to date with your local forecasts every day on our website. You can follow us on social media as well. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.